What's going on, everybody? It's Carmine from Barmine Tech, and today I want to talk about my new home media server. And it's right here. This is my new home media server. So this is an HP Z2 G3 Mini. It's another little mini form factor PC, which you know I love. And I scored this on eBay a couple months ago, and it was too good of a deal to pass up. And I decided I'm going to use this to run my whole media server off of. So as you can see, it is a micro form factor. It has some pretty good I/O. It's a good size, and what's even better about this is it has a Quadro M620 graphics card inside of it that I can leverage for transcoding and other stuff. Currently, I'm using a QNAP NAS that runs my Plex server, holds all of my media, and also runs Docker on it to handle all the automation tasks and services that go with Plex. It's worked really well for me. I've upgraded so it has some extra RAM, some cache drives, and it works really well, but the issue is maintenance on it. To run Docker on a QNAP NAS, it has to run through Container Station. It's extra steps of containerization, and then on top of it, the file paths get really confusing because they're not just normal file paths. So instead of it being like it's slash a random string of characters slash another random string of characters. So it gets to be very confusing, and if you know when you update Docker containers, sometimes they don't update nicely, and they break and you need to rebuild them. And that was a serious issue for me. So between not being able to really maintain all of my services for automation and just want a better system overall to run everything off of, that's where this PC came up. This was actually the eBay listing that I found, and it was $222, and that's because of the graphics card. They're all out of stock. But for a base of $154 plus the graphics card, plus it came with a 500 gig hard drive for $222, at the time when all the prices of hardware, and especially hard drives, started to spike, for me this was a really good deal and I couldn't pass up on it. And it comes with the Quadro M620. Now, yes, it's a mobile card. I did some initial research and it looks like it'll pass through nicely. I could use it for transcoding on Plex, and it's going to. I just need to keep messing with it. But like it was, this is the chassis that I chose to go with, and what's even better is that it came with the power adapter, because so many times these mini PCs don't come with power adapters. This ended up being the mini PC that I decided to work with because it had a lot of the features that I was looking for. I just kind of want to go through what my plans are for this. I don't really want to show off all the steps of how to set everything up because I've already done this before a couple times. So if you are interested, I'll have links to the videos of how to set up Proxmox, how to set up your first Ubuntu VM, how to set up Plex, because I've done all this stuff before. So if you are interested, you can check all of that out, and I'll link that down below. Really, today's just going to be a showcase about the project, talk about it a little bit, and then just go through some future plans. If we come over to the actual Proxmox host, you can see I called it Mini Media. It just follows my funny naming scheme that I use for Mini and Big. My friend was actually asking me why I call stuff Big Lab, why I call it Mini. I don't know, it's just this weird naming scheme that I came up with that when I use a mini PC, I call it Mini. And if I use anything other than a mini-sized computer, then it's Big. I don't know, I just thought of it one day and I thought it was funny, so I just ran with it. So that's why I have Mini Media, Mini Backups, Mini Lab, and then if you remember when we were working with the small form factor, not that it's much bigger, but that was Big Lab. I don't know, it's just something that I ran with. I don't have much currently in this server running. It's just at the initial build out, just trying to get the core services that I need for automation going again. So you can see over here, I have my containers. I'm not going to talk about these, but if you are interested, you can do some research on your own. They are available on the Proxmox helper script site. There's plenty of sources out there. If you are interested in checking out any of these, you can do some research on your own and you can figure it out. It's pretty simple. The big one I want to talk about is this Plex VM, and you can see it's already saying that it's struggling on RAM, and I don't think that's true. The first thing I want to talk about was the GPU in this PC, and if I do an LSPCI, the biggest thing over here was the VGA compatible controller, which was the Quadro M620, like I mentioned. I did set this up for GPU pass-through. I ran through all the steps a couple times, but I seem to run into an issue. If we come over to the actual Plex VM, you can see I have the device pass through. If I open up a console over here, if I do an LSPCI Tech K, we can see over here that I have my controller pass through. So again, there's the graphics card, and I have the audio pass through, but for a different reason, when I run the command to be able to see if it's actually being used, I have a communication error with the driver. So I'm trying to narrow down what my issue is with the driver. I've tried installing a bunch of different ones, but it just doesn't seem to work. And if you remember when I did my original GPU pass-through, this is where I kind of say it's like a 50-50. Sometimes it really works smoothly, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, I think it's because I'm using a older Quadro card. It looks like it came out in about 2017, so it is dated. It has current drivers, but it doesn't seem to like them. I've tried installing the drivers about 4 times. I've tried 4 different drivers. It just doesn't really seem to be working. So I'm trying to figure this one out, but at the end of the day, this will work, and I'll be able to use hardware transcoding. And if you were curious about why the memory is so high, it's not. If we come over here to HTOP, we can see I'm only using 300 megs of the 4 gigs that I have. There's nothing running on this computer, so there's no reason for it to have high memory. So the thing about this server that really caught my eye when I was looking at this mini PC was one that it's an i7 with 8 cores. So if we come over here and we look up this i7, it is a 4-core chip, but it comes with 8 threads. It comes in handy when we're looking to do some virtualization, and what I like even more is it's a 65 watt TDP chip. Another low power computer, going to work really well for my uses. Like I also mentioned, it came with a 500 gig hard drive. So you can see I was able to partition it and use 75 gigs for the OS drive. And then over here, it still left me with 378 gigs of usable space. I did end up putting a 1 terabyte disk in here, which I haven't ended up using yet because I don't really need it. So it's just sitting here, and I actually might take it out at some point. Originally, I thought I was going to need more storage on this computer for other tasks, but my Plex storage is connected over a NAS share, so that's already remote. And outside of that, to run all the VMs in the containers, it doesn't really take much storage. So I might end up actually just pulling that 1 terabyte drive out. On top of that, this computer came with 16 gigs of RAM. It's always nice to have more, but 16 gigs will work really well for the uses here. And again, this was when the hardware prices really started to spike. So to be able to get a computer with a 4-core 8-thread chip, 16 gigs of RAM, a 500 gig NVMe drive for $222 with a graphics card, I was blown away by the price. I had to get it right away. Is it going to work exactly how I want? I really hope so. I really hope I didn't waste $200, but if I did, it happens. I think I'm going to be able to get it working, and really I think it's just something silly with the drivers that I'm missing, and that's where my current issue is right now. Okay, so now you might be wondering why I'm running this the way I am. I'm running it the way I am for easier management for me. I know that this computer is going to be capable of running Proxmox, and by running everything through Proxmox, it makes it easier to just keep everything running and managed. I probably could just run this as a standalone Ubuntu box and install like Docker and run everything through there and then run Plex on top of that. It isn't my preferred way, and I would prefer to have a little bit more control over it, and that's where Proxmox is going to give me. It's going to give me ways to separate everything. I don't have to worry about anything bleeding into something else. I don't have to worry about using Docker and having something funny happen in Docker. I get to use a system that I'm really familiar with, and the LXCs work really well, and I know they already do. I get to break up the computer into smaller pieces and use the VMs for Plex, and if I ever need to build something else, I can do it through there. Another really big thing I do like is that with Proxmox, I can connect it to backup server, and I can just back up the config for everything. I know this is doable in other services, but I really like how Proxmox backup server works, and that's why I prefer to do it this way. So I can back up all the files, and if I ever lose this system, I could always rebuild it. Like I said, the biggest push for me to do this was to get off of my QNAP NAS running everything. Currently it runs everything on there between Docker, Plex, as well as making all my storage. It works, but I'm looking to make it a little bit better, and that's why I got this system, and I think in the long term it really will work out better. Like I said, this was just a quick showcase of this current project that I'm working on. If you are interested in any of the videos of how to do anything such as set up Proxmox, build out an Ubuntu VM, set up Plex on Linux or Windows, I have videos to all those, and I will drop them down below. I want to thank you all for watching. As always, I'll have links to all the gear in my home lab down below. I'll have a link to the Discord server if you want to join up over there. Again, I want to thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and as my buddy Don would say, hack till it hurts.